to Wednesday's edition of Reptile News. Now, I want to get something out of the way right away today. This weekend, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be on Gecko Nation Radio, so it's on Blog Talk Radio. You can find the link on my Facebook page. I'm sure it'll be posted again beforehand, but if you want to learn a little something about where I've been and what I've been doing, then check it out. I recommend it to everyone. And that being said, let's move right into I guess it would be our main story, and that is invasive species. Now, I read an article, and as always, I'll have the link to it in the description and on the website. And they talk about in the link species movement, more specifically anoles, from where they're supposed to be to where they're not supposed to be, and how the international shipping trade has helped that. And this brought up a real serious question. They talked about a place like Cuba, which economically is kind of secluded from everybody else, that had a lower count of the animals there than a place like, say, Florida, that has just open borders, ship anything in and out. And now that we're not talking about released pets or escaped pets, we're talking about legitimate stowaways that travel via shipping containers or cargo or what have you. It's brought up a real interesting topic that I guess is similar but kind of different from the point that it's getting to, and that is our Burmese python problem here in America. I really started thinking, would something like, and I don't know where, like Southeast Asia, I don't know what their practices are or how economically open they are. I would believe, being Asia, they're probably pretty open to the rest of the world as far as shipping and receiving is concerned. But let's just take a step back for a second and entertain the idea, or the question, if you will. Would this still be an issue had it not been for escaped or released pets or whatever? I'm pretty sure, I don't know what it takes to make a sustainable breeding population, but I highly, highly doubt that a male and a female of the same species dropped off in the same state would ever find each other and breed and make a sustainable population. I find it highly unlikely in the same county, possibly even the same city, for this to happen. I would think it would take a decent number of individuals of the opposite sex, obviously, and a reasonable enough environment to not only survive but reproduce and thrive to create a sustainable population. Now, everybody knows I'm no scientist. I'm a common sensitist. That's a pretty awesome word. Is that a real word? Well, it is now. But it does beg the question, would these invasive species still be a problem if the international shipping and the stowaways was the only problem? I'm fairly confident that, Hurricane Andrew, I believe, that took out breeding facilities. I'm fairly common that was like the blow that broke the camel's back as far as our invasive problem with the Burmese python and potentially some other species. I'm not exactly sure what was kept in those facilities, but yeah, I think you get my drift. I'm sure there's also a few escaped or released pets, probably quite a few of them, not all in one contained area. The breeding facility being taken out by a hurricane, in my opinion, is the most likely culprit, because this is a large number of animals of the same species and the same sex in a suitable living environment to thrive, being released and dispersed in a small area, small enough to where it's reasonable to believe that they could meet up with each other and start to breed. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Leave a text comment, leave a video response, and let's go to the next story. Now we find ourselves back east, where the Fish and Wildlife Service is asking for public comment. They're proposing adding the black pine snake to the threatened species list. And I'm really on the fence about adding animals to the endangered species, threatened species, whatever you want to call the list. And apparently this snake that used to inhabit pine forests in Mississippi and Alabama, and I believe New Orleans, which is now gone from New Orleans. They say there used to be 90 million acres of pine forest, and now back in the 90s, I believe, they counted only 3 million. So loss of habitat is a major thing, and they're saying that this snake that inhabits such a small area and only 2 snakes should be enough to add it to the list. Now, my opinion, I'm all for adding stuff to the list. It makes me a little nervous on what it means for me me and you for the future of the community. And when I say the community, I don't just mean the private keepers that keep captive bred stuff. I mean, there's a whole part of the community that likes to go out and find this stuff. And in a lot of places, if you find a threatened or endangered species and even pick it up to pet it or take a picture of it, you can get yourself in a little bit of hot water. So I do have a problem with that. However, adding it to the list with stipulation, I guess, would be awesome. I'm all for protecting the species, ultimately at whatever cost. So if it means adding them to the list and making them an untouchable, then I guess it is what it is. And once again, of course, I am very interested to hear what you guys think about this. What do you feel about adding species to the endangered list? And what do you think about the black pine snake? And do you agree, disagree with stipulations? Do you think everything should be added and just be not touchable? Or anyway, leave a text comment or a video response again. And now we find ourselves in Indianapolis, where authorities raided a home and seized 12 animals from the home. They're kind of hush-hush on what kind of animals they seized, except the biggest part of this story, what appears to be about a 3-foot alligator. They say the homeowner did not possess the proper permits to have the alligator. The homeowner does say, however, that she plans on entertaining the idea of getting said permits and paperwork in order to have the alligator. Authorities apparently decided to raid the home and seize the animals after a complaint of mistreatment of the animals. And again, like every other story, I'm just on the fence about it. I mean, if they were there to raid the home because of mistreatment and they seized 12 animals, is that probable cause of mistreatment that they found, which is why they seized them? I mean, I understand why they would seize the alligator if a person's possessing it without the proper documents in order. But what are the other 11 animals? Were they seized due to mistreatment? If so, maybe it's not a good idea to send the alligator back there once the proper documents are in order. And as always, I'm very interested to know what you guys say. Leave a text comment, leave a video response, comment on Facebook, on the website, whatever you want to do. And that, my friends, is all your news for this Wednesday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, that link's right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you Friday.